Okay, I feel like I'm back. Round two. Okay, so again, waiting for friends to come back in. Again, so sorry. I'm trying a different internet connection now, so hopefully this one's a little bit better. All right, so I was talking about, as I can see some light come through. Yay, the light. Um, Talking about the spring equinox. So the spring equinox is going to be tomorrow. Yay. And this is a busy time for spiritual people. Okay. And I'm just making sure I can see me and see the chat too. Okay. So, and give everybody else a chance to come back. All right. If you're coming back, there you go. I think I'm back in there. Just making sure that my sound isn't interfering with anyone. All right. So I'm back. And yes. So the spring equinox is tomorrow, 4-ish Eastern Standard Time. So I can't promise that I can be exactly where I want to be tomorrow at 4. um, but what I do is prepare. Um, like I said, it's a big time for a lot of us because we are preparing for a whole new season. We're preparing as the planet steadies itself, you know, back towards the sun, towards life, towards, rebirth. Okay. And that's the exciting thing when it comes to spring. Um, we've had our time of rest technically, whether you did or you didn't. We've had our time of rest, and now it is time for rebirth and growth. Think about a seed. Think about planting. I mean, a lot of what manifesting is planting the seed and tending the soil so that it grows into what it needs to become. Okay. And a lot of people have been taught, and a lot of people have been taught, and a lot of people have been taught. So yes, a lot of people have been taught to pray on it. Look, I'm not knocking Christianity or whatever it is that you celebrate, but a lot of people have been taught to pray on it and let go and let God. Okay, so there is truth in that, but then there's also inspired action in that too. Okay. I think what happens and what has happened for a lot of people, if they are struggling in life and they are praying on a thing, they just assume that, just pray, wish, and hope, and then things will happen when there's more to it than just that. Okay. There is definitely more to it. And the inspired action is the thing that a lot of people miss. And the blocks are also something that a lot of people don't anticipate. So I was working with someone on a call last week, and she was telling me, it's so hard staying positive. It's not realistic. And I say to that, it's not about being positive all the time. It's not. Okay. So think about, again, planting a seed, and you're planting your seed out in certain soil. Hopefully you've, fertilized that soil or will fertilize that soil. Hopefully you give it the water and the nutrients that it needs. And there are elements that will come, like, natural predators, rabbits, squirrels, whatever, chipmunks that want to eat your little sprout. And you've got to do what you need to do to protect your seed, your little sprout, so that, your plant, your manifestation grows. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like that is the thing that a lot of people don't anticipate. It's like, and then there's also the waiting aspect, um, where people are literally digging into the soil saying, "Why aren't you growing?" And it's like, yeah. So it is a tender balance of inspired action and hands off. Let it be. Let it breathe. Let it grow. It is a tender balance, and that is something that people in the Western world, I have come to realize, have not been taught about understanding their blocks, understanding um, how to do inner work, understanding their emotional intelligence. Um, you can manifest, but you might not be in the state that is best for manifesting the things you actually want. Okay. So I'm going to give an example that's super common. So when people say they want a relationship, a love relationship with a person, and one of the first things they'll do is like, oh, there's no good whoever out there, you're not ready. Okay. Because that's mathematically impossible. Okay. Uh, there's somebody out there for you. It's just a matter of who is it. You don't need them all. You just need one, right? So mathematically, somebody is out there for you. You just need to be ready for that somebody. But if you're too busy saying, "Oh, there's nobody out here. There's not enough good men or not enough good women," then you're not ready, because that's impossible. First of all, that statement, and then second of all, you're not in the right place to receive it anyway. Even if you did see the right kind of person, you wouldn't be the great harbinger for that person at all. Okay, I'm just being honest. So when people do that and they say that kind of stuff around me, and or I see people be like, be literally be like that. I'm just like, yeah, anybody who you thought you wanted, they're not coming, because look, I wouldn't want to be around you if you're saying that. It's like, that doesn't make me want to be like jumping over there, that kind of thing. So when, fellas say that kind of stuff, like, I'm looking for a good woman, I don't see any good women out here. And I'm like, I guess you don't. So that's that RAS. I'm back to that again. So RAS. I'm a big proponent on taking, I like magic. I do. But taking the magic out of manifestations, because a lot of people think it's super woo woo and they think it's like impossible. And I think that's, again, part of why people don't get the things that they want out of life, because they think it's so, so high above the possibility of it happening. Okay. So there is science around this. And I like to think that I can help people a little bit more on the practicalness of manifestations, the law of attraction. Yes, incorporating that spiritual aspect of it, and then also putting in like some practicality into the process, because there is practicality in the process. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the chat. Nothing much. Okay. All right. So I didn't really do any notes today because, again, I'm trying to do my prep work. So I can tell you what I'm doing. And the thing is, you do what feels good for you and what feels uplifting for you. So when we manifest, you're bringing to you what you are. Okay. So if you're feeling gripey or grouchy or, that kind of thing, that's all you're going to bring around you. So again, so that's what I'm saying. When people say there's no good men or no good women, you're just bringing more of them around you. And that's when I'm like, you get away from him. So you're bringing them towards you, the no good ones. And yeah, it's pretty much like that. So when I'm preparing, I haven't done rituals in a while. And part of it is because I know that, the rituals are fun. They are. They're fun. It's like putting on fancy outfit and, getting fancy and going out and, strutting your stuff or whatever. But I know in the end, I don't need the rituals, but it's nice to have them. And it's nice to um, organize them around certain events. So that's what makes the fun of it. And so I'm giddy. I'm like, yes, this is the spring is happening, the earth. And then yeah, scientifically, this is where the tilt of the earth right now on our western hemisphere, we're kind of tilted away from the sun. That's why we get winter. And then the southern hemisphere is closer to the sun. That's why they down there in Australia and whatnot have summer right now. So now, see, the teacher in me just keeps coming. But as we are now, the equinox is going to be pretty even on that day tomorrow. They say you can balance an egg on that day and, broomsticks and all this other stuff. I don't know, whatever. But it is technically right when the earth is right there, even like the sun is right there equal on the equator. Okay. And because of that, I feel like, electromagnetism and all this other good stuff is happening. And it's just like, yeah, 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 and then our bodies are getting ready for this. So like I said, it's exciting for me and it's fun. And so when I do my rituals and I do my thing, it's just like, yay, it's fun, it's celebratory. We're celebrating, right? Um, and I try my best not to come with a spirit of desperation, a spirit of hopelessness, a spirit of defeat, a spirit of begging, a spirit of longing, because when you long for it, that means you don't have it. It means you'll always long for it. Okay. So like I said, I like a good ritual. I know I don't need it. So I do a lot of meditating now at this point, and a lot of meditating and a lot of visualization. I still like to journal. I do have, well, I have my inner work journal, and all it is for me is just a notebook, and you don't have to do anything special. If you don't have the money for it, just get some paper, paper from dollar store, wherever, some notebook paper, and just start writing, you know, get a pen, a good pen that you love, and go at it. Journaling is very powerful for a lot of things, especially, like I said, the inner work part of it. When we manifest and we might not feel like we are deserving of the manifestation, that's where you got to start working that out. Like I said, I've said this before, where it feels like you're needing like the harshness, the hard spots out of your system so that you can accept your manifestation. Okay. So I'm also going to show you my life book. I have one. And like I said, tomorrow, I'm not going to show you, all the things in it, but I have my life book where it's like a vision board and a scrapbook and journaling all in one. Okay. So I could just show you, like I've shown you this before, but I don't want to show people too much. I feel like it is private. It is private. It's a private thing. And let's see, what pages can I show you? I feel like I oh goodness, y'all are so silly. Okay. Well, okay. This one's good because this one's, it's happening now. So here I go. So I have this one about YouTube and connecting with people. So I have, my cutouts. I put it in here. I've written some things here, written some more things here. So there's that. And then I have some are just entries, and then I go back over certain words with color and things like that. So that's again me doing my color magic a little bit. Um, some of these are just things I am already, so you want to incorporate the things that you're already doing and you're grateful for. You're having peace and quiet. Like I love that I can just go out in nature and enjoy nature. And I love that I am, looking for new ways to strengthen my body. And I am becoming more fit and healthy. And, again, I haven't written anything on these pages yet. There's, of course, you see that bikini lady, but um, but yeah, there's things, and I am gonna put videos on that where just being spiritual sometimes is the thing, and it's not about, I don't know, forcing it. So it is a weird tender balance of doing it, but then holding back, doing what you need to do to fix, erase, need out a problem, and then let it run its course. And it can be tricky if you're just new to it all and you're used to a person standing over you saying, well, you need to say these words and you need to do this and do that and listen only to me, and I have the way and this and that. And really, we all have the way. We all have the power. Okay. We all have the way. Let me say that again. We all have the way. We all have the power. We do. And if you don't think you do, there's a way that, again, you can bring the power to you. And that's something, again, that I have to teach a lot of newbies when they come into the world of spirituality, especially leaving Christianity. They are in it, they are looking for a leader. And that's not what this is. It's not about me being a leader. It's not me about being a guru. It's not me about being like your guide. I'm showing people how you can be your own guru, your own guide. And there's nothing wrong with like talking to people about, certain things, but being careful about that too. So for example, again, about relationships. A lot of times, and this I'm only speaking to what I know as women. So women, we sometimes get together and we talk about how we can't find any good men, and all the good men are taken, and all the good men are gay, and this and that, and whatever. And all it turns into is this big echo chamber of negativity, this big echo chamber of jealousy and resentment. Because what if somebody in that group has a partner and they're having a wonderful relationship and they're just jealous? And so, and then on the flip side, if you feel like you want to have a positive attitude about things, but yet your friends are like, well, I just want to be negative, and they want you to be negative too. There is that saying, misery loves company. They just want to be negative. They don't really want what they are saying they want. They don't, So that's the digging deeper, again, back into the inner work. Okay. And it is the thing. So before really trying to manifest a thing, you really need to ask yourself, am I ready for this thing? I'm not saying not worthy, ready. Okay, as you can see my little dude here. I don't know if you can see that. If I can tilt this a bit. Yes, he is here. Hi. So yes, there is not worthy, because we are. Sometimes we have to reveal that we are worthy within or to ourselves. We are worthy. And sometimes that takes having a routine. And that's kind of where I want to go with this video. So yes, you can prepare for the equinox, you can prepare for your manifestations, but then you need to also have a routine. Okay. That is the action of the law of attraction. You got to be doing something. Otherwise, you're just wishing and nothing's happening. Of course, nothing's happening. And then you get all in your feelings, and then you're like, nothing's happening. Things are happening. It's because you didn't do anything. Isn't that right? So I have a nightly practice clearing out negative, toxic energy for the day. I have a morning practice where I set my daily intentions. Okay, so one of the reasons why I like the moon, and why I use the moon to help with my manifestations is because it's a way for me to check in. I was listening to this news story about a couple of months ago, and this is very revealing and interesting to me. So, a lot of people from the Middle East, like the Middle Ages, when they practice medicine and they practice having certain cures for diseases and things like this, they would write, in their ledgers and in their journals to say certain words and sing certain songs 3 times and things like that. And at first, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, that's a spell and it's a magic spell," but actually, it was just a way to keep time because, again, in the Middle Ages, they didn't really have clocks, y'all. Okay. They didn't, I mean, they didn't, like, people didn't have clocks. There might have been in certain towns a clock. Okay. But the point is, they didn't have a way to tell time except for the sun and the moon. Right. So that is why those early practitioners used the sun and the moon, because it was just a way to keep track of what they were doing. Okay. That's all. And that's why I was like, you're right. It's just a way to keep track of what's going on. So again, that's why I like the moon. It's 20, 28 days, 30 days. Yeah. And when I biohack and I try something new, I always do it for at least 1 month. So if I'm trying a new supplement or trying a new thing for a cleanse, I try it for at least 30 days, at least, unless, depending on what it is, requires me to do it longer than 30 days, but to see or to notice any kind of change. So yeah, 30 days, moon cycle, full cycle. Okay. So yeah, so that was very revealing, and it's always very nice to realize that they actually knew what they were doing. It wasn't all like, you know, woo woo. It was like there was some method in there. Okay. They were doing it for a reason. It was, checking the time. So you give somebody some herbs and you say, drink this, and then sing this song 3 times in a row. That's like what, 20 minutes, right? So yeah, it's like taking medicine, taking a thing and seeing what it feels like after a few minutes, right? And so yeah, that's always very interesting to me. So yeah, to the rituals. So yeah, I like to journal. I like to. I haven't done candle work in a while, and I think I am going to do candle work this